Hi friends, it's Carly and I'm back again with a super exciting and surprise to me and you review. So I was out shopping today. Last night was my first ever toy haul live stream. Thank you so much for everyone who was there and your comments were very helpful. I'm going to be using a mic next time. That will improve some things, and yeah, it was a lot of fun though. So we're going to keep doing that every other Friday night. But today I went out to pick up a few things. I was shipping a package to a friend and I wanted to top it off with a couple of things if I could find them. And I went to Walmart and had like a second haul of a lifetime. Like literally, I found everything that I was looking for except for a Baroness. So I was not planning to do another video until Monday because that's the new schedule that I just announced. I don't want to seem wishy-washy, but I found this figure that I legitimately never thought I would get my hands on, and I'll talk about why, and I just had to do this review right away. So that is a huge, long announcement just to say that I am so excited and so amped to be able to do a review today of the Deadpool 2 Walmart exclusive cable. So here he is. You guys, I am so freaking stoked to have this figure. So let me tell you a little bit about why I'm so excited to get him, although I think a lot of Marvel Legends collectors already know what I'm gonna say. So a few weeks ago, I don't think it was that long ago, but it was a few weeks ago that Hasbro Pulse had their Fan First Tuesday, I think it was, where they made announcements about a lot of upcoming figures. Included amongst those were Deadpool 2. There were 3 different packages of figures. There's a Deadpool and Teenage Negasonic Warhead 2-pack, which is awesome looking, a Domino, which is incredible looking, and both of those were available for pre-order through, I got mine through BBTS, as I always do. And then there was the movie version of Cable. And they went ahead and made him a Walmart online exclusive. I don't believe that the figure was always intended to be an online exclusive. Clearly not, because I just found him on the shelf. But the pre-order was online exclusive. And the problem with that, right off the bat, that was like super infuriating. As soon as the video was over, I went straight to Walmart and it was already sold out. And the reason that that happens, particularly on Walmart.com, is that their website allows third-party retailers or resellers. So it's kind of like an Amazon marketplace, but the issue is that they don't monitor, they don't have the tools and the systems in place to monitor what's really going on their website. So if you find something on Walmart.com and you do a little bit of digging, you might find that it's actually from reseller.com, and that's why they don't price match their website, because they don't even know where the stuff is coming from. And what the issue that arises from that is that bots run rampant on Walmart.com. And that's what happened with this fella. If you go to eBay right now, you can find him right around 50 bucks. But a ton of people scooped him up. There's dozens of them online. The pre-order was just clearly never going to happen for the average consumer, and finding him on the shelf, granted it was on a bottom shelf, not in the section where he was meant to be, was the literal biggest toy shock of my life. So that was a really frustrating experience to see that this awesome set of 4 figures was coming out, and that I felt like I probably just was never going to be able to complete it. So before I get into this review, I don't even know if anybody from Hasbro watches my videos, surely not, but if anybody knows anybody, I implore you, Hasbro, if you're going to do a Walmart exclusive, allow pre-orders through Hasbro Pulse as well. You can, at some point, you can put these on the shelves, that's one thing, but their website is not designed and not equipped to handle the type of collector consumer that you cater to, and a lot of people are being kept from this figure because of that misstep. So please, please, no more Walmart.com pre-order exclusives. All of that aside, I am over the freaking moon to have this figure, and he's pretty amazing, so let's just take a look and get started. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with our friend Cable here, his name is Nathan Summers. He is a super, super awesome sniper. He has all kinds of abilities, super strength. But in Deadpool, he is time traveling to stop the mutant that ultimately becomes a supervillain and causes his daughter Hope's death. So if you have not seen Deadpool 2, I highly recommend it. Those two movies were fantastic. I really hope we get more. But Josh Brolin played this character. So this is the movie version of Cable, and as you can see in the sculpt, he is perfect. The sculpt on this is spectacular. Really everything about this is really worked perfectly. So we've got his bionic arm, we've got all of his gear. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this cloak. It is vinyl, but one of the nice things about it is that it actually just slips over his head. I think you can see here. So that is really handy. This is exactly what the cloak looks like in the film. And it's a little bit sturdier, I think, than some cloaks that we've had in the past. So I'm really happy with that piece. He has an excellent accessories pack too. I'm just giving everything away before I even talk about it. But the facial sculpt is fantastic on this guy. Let me see if I can get focused. There we go. You can clearly tell that it's Josh Brolin. You can see all of the detail in his, he's got more like mechanical elements coming up. He's got his missing eye and scarring on his face. He even has a really sick fade that looks really good. So every detail was really done with so much care and precision on this that artistically, I feel like it's one of the finer Marvel Legends figures I've seen in a really long time. He's got some, I'm going to call them permanent accessories. So we'll look at those. His tactical vest here. I searched up and down for the normal like little clips on the side, and there is not one, which is not an issue. I would never, I think, have him without it. And the same with his belt. There is no way to remove his belt that I was able to find. So these two pieces are flexible and moving vinyl, but they are attached. They are on the figure and can't be removed. We have Hope's teddy bear here, which I think is so awesome. That is a great detail from the movie, and it looks really, really good here. He's got two holsters for his weapons accessories. There's a pistol, and then this is an extension on his gun. Let me go ahead and show you the gun that he comes with. So it is this sniper rifle, but it comes with two accessories. So there's one here, and I think, let's see, this one I think is a grenade launcher right here, and it literally just slides right off like this. I was thinking it went forward and back. It goes up and down right here like that. So this is what the inside of that looks like. It's just a little peg that you can slide right in. Here you go. So this one is a grenade launcher, I think, and then he's got a holster that will hold whichever one of those you're not using. This one I think is a shotgun accessory. And then you can see here is the peg, and here is the accessory, and it just slides on like this. So it's a pretty cool mod, and it's really easy to use. His weapon looks sick. There's a little bit of painting done. I mean, typically when we get these, they're just all the, whatever color plastic they choose. They don't really do a lot of painting or detail, and there isn't a lot on these, but there's just enough to make it look a little bit different. And I really appreciate how functional the accessories are and how easy they are to put on and take off. So I'm really happy about those. And then, as I said, over here, he's got his pistol, which fits right into this back holster right here. And the pistol is ordinary. It's small. It's very small, but it's sturdy. And all of the accessories fit perfectly into their holsters. He also comes with an additional set of hands. These are the fist hands, and then he's got his weapon holding hands. So you can see those. Those have some really great detail worked into them. The fingerless gloves. He's got like a bandage on, or not a bandage, but you can see like his little mechanical thumb sticking out there. It's pretty cool. So as I've started to use this figure and play with him, which I've only been doing for about an hour now, I am really excited about the articulate points. I literally was just talking last night when I did my live stream about the disparity between Marvel Legends points of articulation and just overall rendering and the G.I. Joe Classified series that's come out. And I was just crossing my fingers and hoping that we would start to see Marvel Legends picking up with some of this awesome technology that they're using on the G.I. Joe Classified series. Well, we are seeing that here. This figure is so articulate and so smooth. It is probably the best, I'm gonna go ahead and just say the best Marvel Legends figure I have as far as articulation goes, bar none. So let's look at all of those points from top to bottom. Again, the sculpt, just, it's mind-blowingly good. So you can see how smooth the movement in his head is in every direction. So you can get all kinds of expressive poses. It's just very easy and light, nothing loose here. So I'm really happy about that. Oh, and I haven't done a 360 in a while, but he can do 360 as well. Let's just look a little bit at some of the detail on the back of his neck too. He's just got detail on every square inch of this figure. So when we're looking at the arms then, we've got this great lateral lift. He does have sort of a pauldron here on this bionic arm that sort of catches a little bit. It's not bumping up against, it's just, you have to click through, but it does get the full height. So if you're using the figure and you feel like you're hitching up there, it will go past there. You just have to kind of click it through. So the lateral lift is perfect, as high as I would want it to go. It doesn't hyperextend, so it looks natural. He's got 360 degrees in this top joint in the shoulder, okay? And it clicks at every point. We've got 360 smooth degrees here in the bicep. Now the elbow I really want to show off because each joint, so while we always have double joints on the male Marvel Legends figures, they sort of always work together, meaning that you can't do each joint individually, meaning that you couldn't keep from the elbow down straight while you bend the top portion. On this figure, you can. Let's look. So here are the two joints, the top, the three components, the top, so the bicep, the elbow, and the forearm. You can take the elbow and bend it independent. So the top portion of the joint you can move smoothly on its own, and then you can do just the forearm as well, like this. So normally what we see is that all of those sort of work together, and you couldn't really get a lot of finer articulation in the elbow there. With this, you can, there's literally endless amounts of poseability movement. You can do a couple of clicks. You could keep the forearm straight. You can keep the bicep to the elbow straight and only bend the forearm. Much more natural movement and very fine-tuned. So you can do everything you could possibly imagine doing on this figure at that joint. So every part of this works the way that a human body does. And it's just, it's so impressive. It's the same on the bionic arm side. So we get the same, you know, just because it has like all of this cool sculpting on it doesn't mean that it functions less. So right here, you can see we've got the straight forearm and we're bending from the elbow into the bicep. Then we can straighten that out and we can keep the bicep straight and bend from the forearm to the elbow independently and easily. And then of course, obviously you can do both all the way in. So the articulation on these arms is fantastic. The wrist moves from right to left, like a waving motion. And that is really most functional. See, like this? It's very smooth. That is most functional with weapon hands, so that makes sense to me. And it really does help to sort of get a grip, if you will, on his weapon and hold it in a way that is natural, would be a natural pose, and also so that he doesn't lose balance because this is a pretty hefty weapon. Moving on, he does have a nice bend in the torso, leaning back here, you can see, right here, and bending forward. So his tactical vest, although it is not removable, I do think that you could probably slip it over if you pop his head off if you wanted to. I just don't know why you would want to, but it does not impede the movement in his torso or abdomen at all. So I'm completely happy with that. He has 360 degrees in the waist. Now here's where I really draw the comparison to the G.I. Joe Classified series and their excellent articulation is in the hip joint. Look at how buttery smooth and completely extended this split is. That is the kind of movement, when you're looking in this joint here, that's what allows us to get like a circular sort of movement that gives us a full range of action poses, kicking, sort of leaping, standing in an action pose like as if you were poised to fight, like if you were ready to pounce or leap. That's where all of this comes from. And man, oh man, when I'm talking about the lateral lift in the hip normally, and I'm just like, well, that's what we get, which is usually somewhere around here. It's not just the split that I'm missing when I miss that lift. It's the full range, the circular motion that you get in your hip, being able to extend your legs out, being able to kick up, have your knee bent and bring your leg up like this. There's so many things that come from, and I was going to say hinge from, and literally and figuratively hinge from the movement that you have in your hip that we've been missing out on every Marvel Legends figure, and Hasbro has been missing out on until the Classified series. We have that here with Cable. It's absolutely perfect. You can see how similar he is to the way those figures are designed in comparison to other Marvel Legends figures. He is definitely unique in this respect. So that makes me really hopeful about all of these pre-orders I have out the rest of this series with Deadpool, Teenage Negasonic Warhead, and Domino, and also with the X-Men movie figures that I have coming up. All of these, we should be seeing some really great things as far as these articulate points go, and I'm crossing my fingers that this really does continue on because it makes me so happy. It's so satisfying. Here is the 360 degrees in the thigh, right here. He's got really thick thighs. I think that it's supposed to, it really is just his like cargo pants, but it's almost comical. I mean, you can see the way that the sculpt is, you can see that it's his pants, but he's got big thighs. But when you're playing with him, it does not hinder the movement of the knee. And again, on this knee joint, we can bend independent, so we can keep the lower leg from the knee down to the calf straight, or we can bend the calf up. We can also keep this portion straight and just bend the calf here. So we've got great isolation and precise movement that makes sense for an action figure, not only to create interesting, exciting poses, but also to make sure that you can balance him and that he'll stand up holding this giant weapon that he comes with as an accessory. He's got the funny boot turn that you guys know how I feel about, and then a great range of motion here in the foot that we have actually been getting this standard on everything, so it's good to see that continues here. I think I might have already said a lot, but I just don't think I can say enough about how incredibly awesome this figure comes off. He looks perfect. There's so much detail in the paintwork, you know, his bionic arm. There's a lot going on with Cable. There's a lot to capture and a lot to get right. And I really feel like, especially with the movie being sort of so fresh in our minds as Deadpool fans, that we will notice everything, and they took that into consideration and really, really did this character and this portrayal excellent fan service. He looks the way that he should look, and dadgummit, I'm so happy about what they've done with articulation. This is the standard of articulation that I want to see on every figure. When I'm talking about standardizing articulation, this is what I'm talking about. This is every single point on point. This is a nice $20 price point figure. I think it might have been $21.99, so we're looking at $2 more than we're used to paying and worth every penny. The accessories on this figure make sense. His weapon makes sense and has really cool, again, additional features that are awesome. Being able to swap these out so easily, being able to load up his holsters so that he's ready to go. Hope's teddy bear is adorable and quite frankly a little creepy the way that it's meant to be. This is such a good Nathan Summers, you guys. Oh, and before I finish, I actually wanted to talk about the packaging, which is so cool. So it is very Deadpool. It was difficult for me to open. I wish I could get to so that I could keep one in the packaging, but on this figure, and I would also implore you guys to consider this as well. On this figure, as much as I would love to have one on the shelf and one in the packaging, I'm just simply not going to do that because of the way that I think that this release was mishandled by offering it to Walmart.com. I'm not making a statement overall about Walmart, but as far as Walmart.com goes, with them not really accepting responsibility for the kinds of things that go on their website, I just think it's really unfair to collectors to take more than my fair share of these, and I think everybody deserves one. But I will not be doubling up on this one just because it's already been such a cluster with the way that it was rolled out that I think it's best just to leave those available for everybody. So I opened it carefully. I'm gonna keep this packaging. I may even pose him inside of it just because this packaging is so cool. But you can see it's got a Deadpool sticker over the X-Force. It's got Nathan Summers here scribbled out and it says Cable. It's got a really cool silhouette. This is like an awesome matte packaging. This silhouette is on all 3 sides of the box here. We've got more Deadpool on top, a little maximum effort there. It's just a really sharp looking package, and so I'm gonna hold on to it. But yeah, this will be the only Cable that I get because I don't want to do anything else to hinder anybody else having a chance to get their hands on this incredible figure. You guys, this is like 15 out of 10 for me. I am so happy with him. I can't believe I just found him in the wild, just sitting someplace he didn't belong for sure, but just sitting on the shelf, ready for me to bring home. I couldn't be more happy. I encourage you guys to be patient with this one. It's brand new. So even though they're cropping up on eBay, I wouldn't feed the trolls quite yet by purchasing them at inflated prices. I think that there's an opportunity for us to see these on the shelves coming up, after the other 2 sets are released, the 2-pack and Domino. I think that we might get an opportunity to see these more on the shelves, and there's the potential, maybe because of the mishandling, hopefully, that Hasbro Pulse might give us a second shot at it on their website. So as much as I want everybody to have this in hand, and it is so worthwhile, try to hold off on paying inflated prices for a time just to see if we can maybe get this guy back out on the shelves at a fair price for everybody to pick up. So with all that said, I am clearly a very happy girl. This is an excellent figure. I recommend it. It's one of the best things I've gotten in a long while, right up next to the G.I. Joe Classified series, and it gives me great hope and excitement for what we are about to see from Hasbro in the coming months. Thank you guys so much for watching this surprise video. I am actually going to be on schedule next week, and I will post that on my Facebook page so you guys know what to expect. I will be doing another toy haul the week after next, so let me know what you guys think of that. There's a lot of information in that video, and I just want to know what your thoughts are so I can make sure that the next one I do is even better than the first one. I'm super excited. I'm gonna go play with my Cable, but I will be back on Monday with another toy review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another one. Bye, friends.